Okay, very good morning, Ibid. I am the CFO, the Chief Financial Officer of Petronas Dagangan Berhad, and this is regarding the risk mechanism when it comes to the acquisition of Revenue Group Berhad. Now, as a CFO, it is my responsibility to ensure that we have long-term value during this acquisition process. So, the risk could be segmented to three major risks: your financial risk, your operational risk, and your unforeseeable or unpredictable risk. So for financial risk, the first thing that comes to mind is going to be your credit risk. Credit risk is a very big thing because Revenue boasts about 90,000 network of merchants, right? Each and every one of these merchants could default on their payment terms. So what we can do as PDB is create a credit worthiness assessment of each and every one of these merchants and ensure that we have very clear payment terms. This is the best way for us to mitigate this risk to a certain degree. Secondly would be your liquidity risk. Now I did, as CFO, I did suggest to fund this acquisition, which is estimated to be around 77 million, fully via our internal cash reserves. Now, as of 2024, we boast about 2.1 billion in cash reserves, so it will be about 5%, and thus ensuring a 95% balance ensures that we strongly mitigate this risk, which could be used, this cash could be used for anything, any liquidity as in any investment opportunities or in the case of any emergencies. Okay, thirdly would be our valuation risk. One thing that's very common during these processes, the M&As, is that we over-evaluate our acquired company and we also overestimate our revenue coming in during this acquisition. So our best way to mitigate this is to become very conservative with our revenue calculations and also be very conservative when evaluating this company. So this is under sensitivity analysis. Now on to operational risk, which is going to be our biggest risk moving forward, our integration risk operationally. So Revenue and Settle have very differing integration processes and different networks when it comes to our systems. So what I would propose is we have a specialized integration team consisting of Settle's experts and also Revenue's experts, just to ensure that we can streamline the process and make it a very smooth transitioning period integration wise. Another integration risk that could come up is the different cultures of PDB and also of Revenue. So PDB and Settle have a very structured culture, while Revenue has a very fast-paced, driven culture or agile culture. So these differing cultures could clash, and it could prove static within our employees. And what I can propose we do is we can gradually align our governance and our compliance structures with Revenue employees. What this means is we can have shared onboarding sessions, we can have cross-functional workshops, and we can have alignments when it comes to leadership styles for Revenue and PDB. Understand, we're not just acquiring a company here, we're also acquiring their employees. One of the things that I've heard about during the recent merger and acquisition of Citibank to UOB was that because they did not oversee the company cultures, there was a lot of conflict and a lot of clash. So we are trying to avoid that. Thirdly would be your unpredictable risk, which could include market disruptions. It could include industry shifts away from online payments. Things like this could happen. What we can do to the best of our abilities is to analyze what this could be, and we could also come up with our own contingency plans with every scenario that could happen. So one of the biggest things we can do is also stress testing, which is a very common valuation thing to do during mergers and acquisitions. So stress testing could include cash flow stress testing or discounted rate stress testing, sensitivity stress testing, as well as integration delay stress testing. Things like this could be vital for us in the face of unforeseeable or unpredictable events. Okay, with that in mind, these risks are real, but with that in mind, understand that they're very measurable and they're very manageable. So with this proactive strategies in place, I as the CFO of PDB still believe that this acquisition remains financially sound with our high internal rate of return with good positive NPV. But I do understand that our payback period of 16 years is a little bit long, but that is quite common with big acquisitions such as this, and because of the huge investment going forward, huge investment to buy the company or to acquire the company, right? So I'm confident in the value that this acquisition could bring to PDB. And yeah, with that, I would like to thank everyone for listening into my risk assessment. Thank you very much.